through a few different ideas that you could do. So about me, first of all, if anyone's on who hasn't met me before, just so that I can tell you I'm fully qualified to teach this subject, I'm a mum of 4, and that can be pretty full on. So I've been where all of you are at if you're all mums, and if you're not, well, just understand I know what busy means. I live in my bus full time, so don't get a lot of time to myself. I homeschool my kids, 3 of them anyway. The 4th one's only a toddler, so he just likes to run in and muck everything up in the middle of classes, of course. So I can't really, well, I guess he's learning, but yeah, he's a little bit full on. So I am pretty busy. I also did the book work for my husband's business, Sandgroper Covers, so I'm always doing the invoicing and stuff for that. Plus, I'm the phone. People don't realise when they're ringing a 1300 number, they're ringing me on my mobile in my bus, surrounded by 4 children yelling at me. Well, they're not yelling at me, but yelling in general. So it's quite, I think, funny because I'm always like, shh, because I don't want people to know that I'm not actually in an office with a headset on, you know, answering their call. So it's pretty full on. And then on top of that, I do oils as well. So I'm a silver leader with doTERRA, and that takes up quite a bit of my time. I absolutely love it. And that's what I get to do after everything else is done. That's my me time. So I'm pretty busy. So my background, I'm also a doula. So I'm a childbirth assistant. And I'm also just recently having a bit of a break at the moment, but I'm a hypnobirthing instructor as well. So all of these things have helped come together to form this idea of how I can calm myself down really quickly. Because I'm teaching couples how to do this in birth, and obviously then you can use these techniques anytime, which is really, really awesome because we all need it. So I'm just looking at my notes. I thought, you know, I could do a PowerPoint, but I wanted you guys to see my face, and I wanted this to be a group of people connecting. I didn't want it to be, I didn't want it to be formal. I wanted it to be more of a chat. So excuse me while I look at my phone, but I can get talking and then I'll forget what I was talking about. So, whenever you feel sad or anxious or overwhelmed or stressed or anything that's out of balance, even if you're feeling unwell, whatever it is, you've got your oils. So I know hopefully everyone in here started up with oils. If not, we can chat about that later. But I know that often we forget we've got them, which is so funny. Because we have them too. I'm just going to, just a second. It's just quite funny that we can, have these oils on hand and forget to use them. So whenever you're out of balance in any way, and sometimes you can't even put your finger on it, reach for your oils. You'll kind of get your own routine of what feels great for you. Sometimes it's putting it on your temples, putting it on the back of your neck because it takes it up to your brain really quickly. Breathing it in. Breathing in the oils is the way to change your mood really quickly. So partly it's the breathing and partly it's the oils and what's in them. So when you breathe the oils through your nose, you take them up to your brain in 6 to 10 seconds. Everyone say that, 6 to 10 seconds. It's nothing. In time, in mum land, it can be a while, but it's nothing. So by just grabbing those oils and you say to yourself, I don't have time, a lot of the stuff that we say is not true. Are we getting any nods? I don't know. Do you find that you tell yourself a lot of things that aren't true? Thank you. All the time. And you say, I don't have time. Well, I'm telling you, if you make time to do this, you will actually have more time. Because rather than going, oh, I've got to be here, oh, I've got to be there, jung, 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 and bouncing and just, is that frenetic energy like this? You can't run when you're sort of just all pent up. You need to have nice, long, slow, smooth movements to run. And that's what we need to do. So you need to take this time for yourself. So it's going to take you maybe 90 seconds to do this next thing that I'm sort of going to teach you. And you can put your own twist on it. I have. So all I do when I'm feeling super, super stressed, overwhelmed, I've got just too many things to do. Normally I just look at all my oils and I pick one that stands out to me. Now it could be the colour, Like, I seem to go for bergamot a lot. It might just be what I need. It could be just the name of it, like peace, console, and you're like, heck yeah, I need me some of that. Or it could just be something that jumps out at you, or you might be having a bit of a craving. After you've been using the oils for a while, you start to crave them, which is awesome. And it's just your body's way of saying, hey, this is what I need. So all I do is I get my oil, and I'm going to be a really bad example because I reckon I've mostly got roller bottles here. That's handy, isn't it? But just slow down for a sec and just I always say become friends with the oils, which sounds funny, but they do become real friends, and they smell different at different times of the month depending how you're feeling, and you've got to get to know them. So basically, if they smell different, I guess I don't know. They're like us, they change. Either that or it's me changing, probably me. So I have a really good deep breath of it. And then I'll pop some on my hands and I rub my hands together. So I've got Clary Calm, and it's actually not that time of the month for me at the moment, but for me, I go to it all month long. I think it's really calming to all of my emotions. And then I found out that Clary Sage is great for emotions. So go figure. And then I just spend a second to set my mind. So you know how our mind is constantly thinking about everything that's going on around us and outside? For a moment, you need to just check in with your body and see how you're feeling, because how many times do we actually check into our bodies every day? We're in them all day, but most of the time we don't notice because we're all up here. So I just take a moment and I go, how am I feeling right now? And I start with the crown of my head and I go down. And that's when I shut my eyes. So don't make me feel like a silly nilly. You can join in and then I won't feel like such a silly nilly. But I won't see you anyway because my eyes are going to be shut. But I just shut my eyes and I just think to myself, relax. Or I think of a keyword. I know a big one in birth is surrender. That's probably a good one because we're always fighting against everything it feels, and it takes so much of our energy. So I just say relax, and I check my head. And I check down over my face and my eyes and my cheeks and my lips and my jaw. And then always my shoulders. Now you'll know where your spot is, but mine are so that's when I drop them. And just go over your whole body until you can just relax. And if you're literally locked in your bedroom alone, you'll get really great at tuning out. Because I know I've done this where I've actually locked myself in my room and there's still been knocking on my door. And I've honed my skill of tuning out and tuning into my body. So that's when once I'm fully relaxed, really deep. Does everyone know how to belly breathe? So if you put your two hands on your belly should fill up when you breathe in, not your chest. You want your hands should spread apart a little bit when you breathe in, and come back together when you breathe out. And that's how you know you're doing it properly. This is really stressful breathing. Belly breathing is going to really relax you, and it gets you into that automated nervous system, and it just allows your body to realize you're not being chased by a saber-toothed tiger or some other threat, because that's what our kids are. They're saber-toothed tigers. So maybe not yours. So just do your 3 really great deep breaths. And if that still feels really good, you can do a couple more than that, as much time as you have. And then if you've still got a bit more time, imagine yourself in a place in nature. So add some details. Normally flowing water is a really awesome one. What else? What do people love? The beach, streams, rainforests, whatever it is, add that in. And what you're going to do, it's a dual purpose thing. When you're smelling the oil, that is relaxing you, but then your body is associating that level of relaxation with that oil. So as soon as you smell that oil, your body's actually going to go to that place of relaxation. It's going to lower your stress that little bit. So you're conditioning yourself to relax to a scent. And that can happen with any scent. But the beauty with essential oils is that these actually have things in them to release good things in your body as well. They're not just a pretty smell. Your smell is your strongest memory in your body. So you're setting a memory, which everyone, if you think of a smell and you think of grandma, or you think of childhood as soon as you smell. So that's a really strong memory in us. So we're setting a new memory. How empowering is that? With that oil, to associate it with deep breathing and full body relaxation, so that when we smell the oil, that's automatically what our body does, even subconsciously, without actually having to think about it. So you can be anchoring that as a tool in your life. So then when you're diffusing it, you're feeling more relaxed without actually having to actively think about it. But it's going to take some activity first. So you need to train yourself. So I set doing this to an alarm on my phone, where I spend about 90 seconds in my comfort zone. Once you've done your 3 breaths, you just resume to your normal breathing. You can add your place in nature, imagine you're there, check in with your body, make sure you're all relaxed. And with all of those things, set it to a thing that you do every day. So if you remember to do it when you brush your teeth, or set an alarm on your phone, or something else you do every day, set it as a reminder. So when you go to do that, you go to do your relaxation, and then it's going to become a habit. And then the habit will set. You're actually growing new brain matter. You're actually growing new neural pathways in your brain to associate. Your brain likes to associate things with other things because that makes life a lot quicker if there's a pathway. So when you associate that smell and that practice with that feeling of relaxation, your body will automatically go there, which is awesome. So yay for smells, and aren't we wonderfully created? It's just amazing. The more you get into it, the more you realise. At the moment, mums are very much wired for stress. We used to have a village around us. We used to have, grandma and grandpa and auntie and uncle and kids would run around a village and be pretty safe. And there was always someone looking out for your kids, and we don't have that anymore. We've lost that sense of community, and we've lost that sense of the village. And here's me, who just lost my child for 10 minutes in a crowd. I didn't actually lose her. I told her to stay in a certain spot, and then I took my eyes off her and I looked again and she was gone. But she went with her dad, and she thought, oh, well, Dad's safe, so I'll just go with him, failing to tell me that she'd gone with him. So he went to take her off to get her face painted, and I didn't know where she was. So hence, it's all good. So that's something that you can do. Something else you can do, which I probably should have started with, is to start your day right. So you can wake up in the morning and boom, the thoughts hit you. Oh my gosh, today I've got to... You've got to use your self-control to say, no, not right now. I'm shutting that out, and I'm just going to spend at least a minute just setting my day up right. So has everyone heard of aromatic dressing? Sounds a bit like you're a salad. So what you do, you get some fractionated coconut oil. You buy yourself, and I'm actually going to tell you to stop shopping for self-comfort and a treat, and to stop eating. This was things I used to do, but here I am telling you to go shop. This is allowed, Beck said. So go buy yourself a really beautiful bowl. You can get wooden bowls, you can get ceramic bowls. Go and buy something that is your special thing. It's really pretty and it's precious to you, and keep it somewhere precious. In the morning, get about a teaspoon of fractionated coconut oil or some other carrier oil, just something plain, pop it into that little bowl. Then get 4 to 6 drops of your favourite oils, and it can be a combination, whatever jumps out at you. You don't have to put a lot of thought into it. Drops, drops, drops. Mix it all up and start to rub it on your body. To start at your feet, work on your legs. This is the hard bit. As you are rubbing each place, think of some reason or something that you're thankful about that part of your body, and stop all the negative. Think of something positive. And by doing this, you're setting up your day, first of all, with awesome oil. Second of all, loving yourself and spending that little bit of time on yourself, and it doesn't take long. You're nourishing your skin and your immune and your mood and everything else, and you're setting your thoughts to teach them to start the day out on a positive note. Because self-talk is so, so crucial. We are constantly talking to ourselves, whether we hear it or not. And we take things that are happening in our front brain that we can hear, and eventually we just file them away, because it's easier to file them away than keep saying them. But sometimes other people would have said things to us and we've internalized that, and we're saying things that aren't true. and we need to replace them with things that are true and things that are positive. And honestly, this sounds airy-fairy, but it is scientific, and it can totally change your day. From I can't do it to I can do it. I'm a strong human being. I'm compassionate. I'm kind. It's quite amazing. So I'm a Christian. I'll say a prayer when I do it, and I love to start my day with Bible time and prayer. But honestly, often it doesn't happen, and that's really bad. But I think it's just because I jump in running. And if I spend this time, I notice my day goes so much better. So yeah, think of grateful things for each part of your body. Rub yourself all the way up, and you can even put a little bit on your face. Fractionated coconut oil is nice in that it doesn't go too greasy. So then you're going to be glowing, and you're going to be smelling amazing like Cleopatra. You're ready to go out and take your day, and you're going to have people go, you smell amazing, and you go, yeah, that's right. And then you have a little smile to yourself because you remember when you took some time this morning and looked after yourself. So that's another quick way to do it. So 2 or 3 minutes in the morning, then you've got your comfort idea, or where you do your deep breathing into that special place in nature. Try to do that maybe once a day. And then other things you can do just when you're feeling stressed. Nature is awesome. So if you're in the city and you've got a really ugly backyard, or there's no nature around you, say you're working and you're in an office or whatever, even just getting out and looking at the sky, because the sky is always there. So have a look at the clouds, have a look at, the beauty that surrounds you. Just take a moment to have a bit of thankfulness and gratitude rather than, just slowing your mind down. It's just slowing it down and just purposefully thinking something. I think a lot of the days we run through not on purpose. We're very reactive. Whatever happens that causes us to feel this way or do this or do that. This is coming from a point of view of being proactive and setting it up, and then purposefully noticing things that you're thankful for, and saying, hey, thanks, that's really awesome. Wow, I'm really glad that happened today. I'm really grateful for that person. Look at those trees, wow, beautiful. And just little things like that actually are proven to get us back in balance of where we need to be. So covering lots of little easy sort of things that hopefully, because I know you read these books and they're like, oh yeah, just do yoga for an hour and a half a day, and you're like, nah. And you just put the book down, don't you? You just go, not going to happen. Go get your bare feet into some grass. That's a really easy way. I've learned not to care what people think of me, so I'll often go barefoot. But sand is also good. But just get back connected into nature, even if you're on your lunch break and in high heels. Take off your shoes and don't care what people think. Honestly, they're probably wishing they had the guts to do the same thing. So I'm trying to think what else I had in here. But yeah, about them, I don't know if anyone else, you might sort of know a habit that you go to when you're not feeling mindful and when you are feeling stressed, and that's your, what's the word I'm looking for? Like that's the thing you do to relieve, but it might not be healthy. These are healthy things that you can do. I know for me, at one time it was probably wine, but then wine wasn't really doing it for me. And then a long time it was shopping. And the problem was I was really buying a lot of things I didn't need and just stacking them up in my house. And the thing is then my house was cluttered, and that made me feel more hectic because everywhere I looked there was stuff. And the more you buy, the more stuff you have to clean. So maybe challenge yourself to read a book about minimalism. Get out there and read it. And I know, once again, yeah, right, read a book. But read it once the kids are in bed instead of watching TV. I actually find TV not all that relaxing, especially if it's annoying me. And a lot of the stuff on telly is just rubbish. Especially like Carl likes to watch all his, 7 mate shows, which just do my head in. And because we're in our bedroom, often I'll just read a book or whatever. And that way you're expanding your mind and it gives you new ideas and it's quite exciting. But it doesn't have to be really hard reading, and it can just be something simple to put into your life and change. So where was I talking? Yeah, minimalism is amazing, honestly. I'm still having to clean out regularly because stuff just whittles its way in. I don't know how it gets in, but somehow it does. You know that saying about you have to smuggle out broken crayons like a Mexican drug lord? I feel like that sometimes. The problem is the bin we use is like, you know, caravan park bin, and then I ask the kids to go take the rubbish out and they're like, what's that doing in the bin? I go, no, that wasn't our family's, that was somebody else's. That looks exactly the same as ours. But it doesn't matter what size you live in. For me personally, you might be one of those really clean and organised people. For me personally, the bigger my space got, the more stuff I had that I didn't need. I always thought the solution was I just need a bit more space. I just need a bit more space. Then I'd be right. Nah, I just buy more stuff. So if you are feeling, and you'll know whatever that is, it also used to be food for me. I used to sneak food a lot, and I used to really have massive binges. And I've really worked really hard, I guess, to break myself of that emotional food connection. And it's taken a really long time for me, and it's been very hard work, honestly. But I wasn't happy, and it wasn't making me happy. It was making me miserable. So whatever it is, if you know you've got this thing that you go and do whenever you're feeling a little bit down, and you might even do it unconsciously. I'm just going to buy myself this, or I'm going to buy myself a pair of shoes even though I didn't wear the last pair that I bought, or whatever it is. Just take a moment to actually just be honest with yourself and go, am I wanting a thing, or am I wanting a feeling? And can I get that feeling somehow else that isn't going to wear off in 5 minutes, as it does with many, many purchases that we make, and with food? Is there something I can do right now within my mind, within myself, on purpose instead of by accident, that is actually going to give me the same feeling without that feeling of clutteredness or bloated or sore or whatever it is that you're feeling? So, yeah, those are things that help me. And obviously I'm still a work in progress, very much so. Still working on it. Still sometimes want to go ahead and just buy stuff. Definitely still want to eat stuff. But, you know, every time you do it once, you go, you know what, I chose this instead of that. Yay me. That's awesome. So go out there, ladies. And I think it's all just about us looking for a distraction when really what we need is just to be a bit more centered. So can we all do that? I want to make a bit of a group. Keep in contact with me. And hopefully, you know, you can show me that, or say, hey, Beck, like once this week I really wanted to go shove my face with Cadbury, and instead I just chose to take a minute and breathe, and I realised I didn't really want Cadbury's. I just wanted to feel relaxed. Whatever it is, use an oil instead of that. Things like that. It's just all about trying to be the best, most healthiest, most energetic person that you can be in the body and the circumstances that you've been given. And I think that's what it really comes down to. We've all been given different things and we've been given different circumstances, but it's about doing the best with what we've got. So, yeah. I don't know how long I've talked for. Not very long. Only half an hour. I'm going to open it up. So if you guys have anything you want to say, unmute yourself and fire away. So it's not just me, please. Nat's looking hopeful. She's reaching for a mouse. She's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Come on, Karina. I'm looking at you. She's like, nah. Apparently I just said everything already. I'd like to know, if you guys find something that works for you that I haven't mentioned. Some people, nutrition's another thing. If you are feeling like having something to eat, you could add some oils to some food, and that's going to nourish you as well. For bliss balls, you could have your wild orange in there, and that's going to, whatever, Nat. I've seen you. You're nutritional, obviously not working. You're going to have to do a challenge. It's just, that's the thing. I find it is really unmindful. Would everyone agree? You do it when you're not paying attention. And then you're like, stink, I just ate whatever, a whole dunk of junk, whatever that is. It's just a way for us to try and escape. But if we actually bring our attention back to where we are, that's actually what we need to do. We actually need to do the opposite of what those things are doing for us. Because it's just a means to escape. And we can escape, but actually by relaxing and listening to our thoughts and calling ourselves out on the things that aren't true and saying things that are true and positive. You know, that is it kind? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Do we treat ourselves like that? Most of the time inside our head? Nope. Something that really came across in leadership was, would we be friends with ourselves if we talked to ourselves as if we were a friend? And that really resonated with me. Like if a friend rocked up for a coffee and you said, oh, gee, looking a bit tumpy in that skirt, like, would you be friends with that person anymore? But we say it to ourselves all the time, don't we? So make yourself someone you want to be friends with. Speak to yourself as if you are friends with yourself instead of, you know, the bad talk. And I know with my kids, things that will run through my head is often, this is too hard. I can't do this. I start with the exaggeration. A lady again at leadership kept saying, oh, I can tell a story. Let me tell you, I'm really good at telling a story. And I'll tell myself the story so many times that I start to believe it. And it's true, you know, it's too hard and it's too this and I can't, and I start to rant. But the problem is I'm listening and myself starts to believe what I'm ranting. And it's not too hard. It's hard, but it's not too hard. We can do it. Even if we need to reach out to somebody else for some help, we can do it. And, you know, yeah, our kids are also sometimes what we believe them to be. And if we're saying, you know, ranting at them, sometimes they'll live down to that. They'll live down to the words that we're saying to them. But if you actually say words that at that moment you might believe those words are above them and the way that they are behaving, but often kids will reach up for that. And it's the same with us. If we're told that we're a loser and, you know, we're not good for anything, then it's really hard for us to rise above that because we turn it into internal. So I've got lots of stuff just popping off the top of my head that I found that works, I guess. And I know I do it. I'm a ranter. I can hear myself ranting. Does anyone do that and you just can't stop it? It's like... it just spews out, doesn't it? But I think that's the moments we need to, rather than going, I can't do this and telling ourselves all that stuff, we just need to slow down and take a minute, maybe ask a couple of questions. Why am I feeling this way? And rather than ranting, what can I do about it? Right then and there's normally something you can do to sort of turn that situation around. So we've got to set the tone, us mummies, in our homes, don't we? And it's hard work. Sometimes you just want to be in your adult fort colouring. I know I do. I don't want to adult today. But yeah, you know, we can set the tone for our homes, and yeah, and hopefully then with the mood oils, so citrus, uplifting. So motivate and cheer, which are the free ones this month and are such a gift. They are so uplifting. So I diffuse them together when I need to get stuff done. Cheer is like another sister or cousin to elevation. So if you smell elevation, they're similar. And they're all citrus, because you think of citrus, think of the sun, uplifting. If you need grounding because you're feeling, you know, anxious thoughts, which is more, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, this is too much for me. Notice there's a lot of similar words, can't, to, T-O-O comes up quite a lot in our self-talk. And balance is absolutely fabulous. So is peace. The blend peace, I wear it as perfume, I love it. And console is really good as well. If you're feeling really hard on yourself and you're just saying, I should have done this a different way, as you get. Forgive is an awesome blend as well. So, yeah. So anyone got anything to say? No. So I went in lots into the emotions blends, but that's because they're amazing. They've been blended really scientifically to have really fast effects on your brain, right in the limbic system, which is the system that formulates your hormones and releases hormones. So that's going to have really quick effects on your body by sniffing it in nice and deep. So everyone, that is your homework. Do your bubble, from hypnobirthing, we call it bubble of comfort. Lots of different mindful techniques do it. But just where you check your whole body, sniff, belly breaths definitely, through your nose if you can, because that's going to get the right nervous system going for you. And let me know either on Big Betty and the Barlows or Amazing Essential Oils with Big Betty and the Barlows or the Busy Oils support group or my page, my personal page. So there's only like 6 options for you to choose. Yeah, thank you all for coming on and listening. And I hope that was of value to you. I did want to keep it simple and I wanted to keep it stuff you could do. And that's why I felt it wasn't like a PowerPointy lecture sort of thing. It was a bit more heart to heart. So I love Zoom and I like being able to see all of you. It's awesome. So if no one's got anything else to say, thank you for coming on and I'll let you all go and have some relaxation and tell me how you go. That's the challenge. I will be following you up. And yeah, if you haven't started with oils yet and you'd like to, if someone's already introduced you, let them know. If not, I'm more than happy to help you. We've got an awesome team and yeah, we're from all over the country and even got a bit of international in there. So it's really brilliant. A great little loving, caring group. And yeah, we'd love more guys, but most of us are ladies. So it's a pretty safe space, which is really good. Cool. Okay, I've got lots of thank yous. Thank yous back. No, thanks, I'm brand new to this. So practical, very good. I'm so glad I could help everybody. Nicole, if you want to stay on, I'll chat with you. Yeah, and Nat's just Martin is saying she likes the grounding blend for when she feels flighty or a little bit ADHD, which is often. So that's really, yeah, I love balance, or is that what you meant? Balance, yeah. So yeah, they're brilliant. Cool. All right. So if anyone wants to stay on and chat how to get started, feel free to stay on if you guys are well seasoned and go use your oils.